Hi everyone, this is River Navarro. I'm the Director of Clinical Services here at Bakersfield Behavioral Healthcare Hospital. I'd like to wish everyone a happy Wellness Wednesday and say hello to all of our Facebook family and friends. I'd like to talk to you about something very special today. I know I say that every week, but I really mean it. I get really excited about sharing videos with you about things that are very dear to me. So today I'd like to talk about resilience. I just think it's something that we don't really talk about enough, and I think it's really important because, at least I can only speak for myself, but I feel like we're dealing with a lot of new challenges and new things that maybe we don't think we're equipped for in relation to COVID-19, some of the new restrictions that are being placed, having to mask all the time, so on and so forth. Really focusing on our health and safety has become an issue for a lot of people, and we're having to find new and creative ways of doing that. So I thought resilience would be a good topic for today to maybe give you some tips and some ways that you can build some resilience for yourself so that you feel better equipped to deal with challenges when they come your way. So I'll start out by telling you a little bit about what I think resilience is, and then I'll branch out and I'll talk about qualities of different people who would be considered resilient and ways that we can look to them for inspiration when we're facing challenging, difficult things. And then lastly, we'll, once we're done talking about ways to build resilience, then I'll kind of hit you with some final points, some things I want to drive home at the end. So I'm just going to jump right in. Let's talk about resilience itself. So what is resilience? All it is really your ability to adapt to challenging, difficult situations. That's resilience in a nutshell. So many things are happening that are out of our control at the moment. It's hard to kind of dig deep within yourself in terms of how you're going to react to these new challenges. So I just really want to normalize that for a moment and say that's perfectly okay. You don't have to have all the answers. I know I don't. But still understanding what resilience is and how it can benefit us in our daily lives is important too. The second point I'd like to make about resilience is that it has to do with how we learn from situations. What can we take away from something that's challenging or a difficult situation? What can we learn? How can we grow? And then inevitably, how can we move forward with some type of course of action? And lastly, it has to do with our ability to bounce back. So this has to do with rising from the ashes, right? Rising to the occasion, coming out victorious and stronger than ever. So I think that's really important. So now I'm going to jump right in and tell you a little bit about some people that we would consider resilient. What qualities do these people have? Because I want to be like them, right? I like to look to people for inspiration quite often. I think it's important to be around other people that inspire you to be the best version of yourself. I'm fortunate I have people like that around me, and I hope you do too. So let's talk about what these people might be like and how we can be more like them. Resilient people oftentimes, one of the qualities they have is they're able to view challenges, mistakes, and failures as opportunities for growth. So I know I talked a little bit about that when I was describing what resilience is, but they're not necessarily looking at these things as being negative. They're looking at what they can take away from it and how that can add to their lives. So I think that's really important. Another quality that they have is they're very committed to their lives. They're committed to the people around them. They're committed to their goals. They're committed to their values, their beliefs, any causes that may be important to them. So I really want to encourage all of you to dig deep and to think about, what's really important to me, and are my behaviors consistent with that? Because people who are resilient oftentimes live their lives in accordance with what's important to them, and they're prioritizing that in their lives. The last quality that someone who is resilient would have is they come across as very confident and empowered. And the reason why is because they focus their time and energy on things that they can control, right? So there's a lot of things we don't have control over, and that's okay. So the idea isn't controlling every single thing in your environment, but focus on some things within yourself or in your environments that you have some sort of control over. And you want to focus your time and energy on those things so that you don't feel like you're spinning your wheels all the time. So I want to kind of move on and talk about some different ways that you may be able to build resilience in your own life and for yourself. First things first, take care of yourself. Get enough sleep, exercise sometimes. The idea is to really focus on taking care of your mind and body. If you're doing those things, you're going to be better equipped to manage stress more effectively. Step 2 or tip 2, become more aware of your thoughts. So what I mean by that is maybe think about a difficult situation you've had recently and think about what your initial reactions to that were. You know, did you perceive it as something negative? Did you find yourself blaming other people for what happened because things didn't go your way? So it's really important to get in touch with your own thoughts and how you're naturally reacting to situations, because there may be things about that you need to change or you need to modify. Maybe there are things that you didn't take into consideration. Maybe you didn't look within yourself at maybe the role that you played in the situation and how something played out. So it's just important to start practicing, getting in touch with your thoughts, what your thought patterns are, to see if there's anything that maybe you need to change about that so you can be better equipped to deal with situations when they come up. Tip 3, maintain a good perspective. So I know that we're dealing with a lot of new challenges in this era of COVID-19, but the truth is not every situation is a crisis. There are a lot of things that definitely deserve our time and attention and a lot of thought and consideration. However, it's going to get better, right? We're dealing with challenges right now, but whatever we're feeling, whatever challenge has arisen, it's not going to stay at that intensity all the time and forever. So it's important to kind of pick and choose your battles and to not blow everything out of proportion. So when something deserves more of your time and attention, I certainly encourage you to do that. But when you need to say, okay, am I really going to be mad about this a year from now, 5 years from now? Let it go, right? Okay. Next step, learn from your mistakes and failures. So I can think of many things in my own life, and I hope you can too, where you can reflect upon something where you misstepped, you did something wrong, maybe you failed at something, you didn't achieve whatever your goal was, and it seemed like it was the end of the world. That happens. At the same time, we can learn from that. Those mistakes or those perceived failures, whatever you want to call them, not only can they be opportunities for growth, but they can really take you into a different direction in your life. It can cause you to take a different course of action you would have never done on your own. So when I say that, I mean some things can be blessings in disguise once you change your thinking about it or you evaluate it from a different perspective, that maybe it wasn't the end of the world and you actually got pointed in a different direction that's better for you now. So there's always the flip side of everything, so keep that in mind. And lastly, you want to develop a support system. So I can't stress enough to you how important having a support system, a crew, somebody, people that you have in your corner, people that back you up, that support you, it's extremely important. And the more support you have in your life, the more likely you are to be able to handle these challenges when they arrive, because you have other people to share the burden with you. So having said that, I think it's extremely important to value and cherish the people in your life, your family, your friends, if you're in a relationship, your pets, your neighbors, whoever it is that you rely on for support, and they rely on you as well. It's extremely important to treat other people with kindness, empathy, and respect at all times. And you'll find that when these new situations come up, you're better equipped to deal with them because you have other people by your side. So the last couple things I really want to drive home with, I guess, is that resilience is your ability to bounce back when things don't go your way. And second thing is that there are a lot of different ways that you can start to work on developing more resilience within yourself now based off the things that we talked about today. So I hope you found this video useful. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I hope that you can use some of these tips and some of the information I gave out today to help you when you want to pass it on to other people as well. I hope everyone has a wonderful Wellness Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.